Hello, hello, hello. So today I am going to be doing a what I eat in a day video. So I am a uni student, so all my classes are online and I do have a lot more time to make nicer meals. So where normally I might have a really quick bowl of cereal, now in the morning, as you'll see, I eat baked oats, which are still super quick and easy. And then for lunch I made a salady bowl, lentil bowl thing. And for tea, as you'll see, I made pasta bake. So I am also a vegetarian, so all this food will be vegetarian, what I eat in a day. Some of it's vegan as well, if you are a vegan and you're interested in that, or could be made really easily to be vegan. I'm trying to cut out a lot of my animal products, so I don't really eat eggs anymore, or milk, stuff like that. Anyway, I'm rambling on, but I really hope you enjoy. I also wanted to say as a disclaimer that this is just what I eat in a day. I don't want anyone to be triggered by because this is a food video and I know that can be an issue. So if you feel like that might be an issue for you, please just click off and watch some of my other videos. But if you are interested, then please stay watching. I'll let you get on into the video now. Okay. So this is my breakfast. I'm having baked oats. So I've just got my oats, my baking powder, milk, soya milk, blueberries, and then I've got some salted caramel protein from my protein. So starting out, I just measure out about 50 grams of oats into my little bowl tray thing. Oh, I just went a bit over there, so I just put a couple back in. But I mean, it really doesn't matter. So then I take a bit of baking powder and just sprinkle it over. Next, I get my protein powder. I normally do like 1 scoop. So it's about 25 grams. Yeah. And then I get my milk. I'm not very good at measuring this out. I think I put a bit too much in, but I just had to bake it for a bit longer for that reason, so it wasn't too much of an issue. Then I just take a little fork and mix it all up until the sort of powder blends in with the milk and the oats and it becomes kind of like a paste, I guess. Now I'm just washing my blueberries because this was a new pack. And then I just grab a handful of them and pop them in my bowl, and then I like to push them in so that they get baked, and sometimes they like sort of pop open in the oven, and they taste really good when that happens. So yeah, I'm just popping them all down, pressing them with my finger, making sure they're all nice and in there. And then I just pop the oven on. I forgot to preheat it, but it doesn't matter too much. I bake at about 180 degrees. My oven is gross, I do apologise. And then that's me just popping them in. I then set a timer for 8 minutes, but I actually ended up having them in for about 10, just because I had too much milk. I then get some red grapes and have them in a bowl, just as my fruit for the morning. And then I'm carrying this to my room because I've got online uni in my bedroom. And then the 10 minutes was up and it was time to take them out the oven. So here we go, they're nice and golden, nice and yummy, and I like mine a bit gooey on the inside. So there's me just giving you a nice little close-up of all the oats and the blueberries. It's so nice, it's such a game changer. My friend told me about these and I eat them ever since. So that's just me at my desk. I've eaten some of the grapes already because I couldn't wait, and then ready for my Zoom class. So I've eaten up all my oats, me looking very happy with myself. This is me just finishing up the last of my grapes, looking nice and happy, which is what we want. Now it's time to move on to lunch. So I'm just preheating the oven for the lentil sweet potato bowl that I was making. Here's all my ingredients, bar the lentils, which were still in my cupboard for some reason. So then I'm just taking a whole cauliflower, just taking off the leaves had to cut them off with a knife because they sort of didn't really pull off. And then I'm just going to go and put them in the food waste bin. And then I'm just chopping off the head of cauliflower into little pieces because they're going to be roasted in the oven with the sweet potato. So that was super easy. And then I just popped them all on, putting the food waste again, and then I'm popping them onto the baking tray ready to be roasted. And now I got my sweet potato. This was such a big sweet potato. I went to Lidl and literally they were all so huge. This was the smallest one I could find. Like, they were just beasts, absolute beasts. The recipe that I was sort of half following for this suggested that I leave the skin on, but the skin didn't look great on this, so I decided to peel it just because I just wanted to. I left bits of the skin on, but mostly I peeled the whole thing, which took me quite a while because it was so big. Then I'm just chopping them up into little square chunks. As you can see, I'm really struggling with that potato. It's really hard and big in the middle. And then, as you can see, I'm starting to make little chunks, which can be roasted in the oven with my cauliflower. I'm just chopping away. Chop, taking me ages, and then popping them all on the tray with the cauliflower. I probably needed a bigger tray. And then I'm drizzling on my oil. I didn't measure out the oil, I just sort of put it on, but you can measure it out if you need to. And then I've got some garam masala, which I'm just sort of sprinkling over the veg, and then mixing it with a spoon. Not doing a very good job because I apparently can't do it whilst I'm filming with the other hand. And then they are ready to go into the oven. I roasted them for about 35 minutes at about 180 degrees. Then I'm just measuring out 200 grams of lentils. I wanted green lentils, but Lidl only did red, so I just went with red. It did kind of bite me in the bum a bit later, as you will see, but I mean, it still tasted really nice, so I don't really mind. It was just more of a mushy texture than I had planned for. But that's okay. And then I'm just adding in water. It said 400 mils. I accidentally put a bit more than that in. But these things happen. It was fine because it just sort of simmered away anyway. Then I'm just popping it on the hob on a sort of medium heat to start with, to get it boiling, and then I turned it down to a simmer once the water was boiling. I'm just stirring it there. And then now I'm grating some ginger. So this is moving on to the sort of more salady, cold ingredients. It was really, really hard to grate this ginger though. Like, it was a bit of a nightmare. It all got stuck to the grater, which was not perfect. So I actually ended up just getting what I could off the grater and then chopping the rest and popping it in the big bowl. And now I'm just squeezing out my lime juice. I don't have like a juicer, so I'm just using my hands. So I used 2 full limes for that. Then it said a sprinkle of sugar. I did 2 sort of pinches, just granulated white sugar. Then I've got my garlic, got 2 garlic cloves, and then I'm just pressing them with my garlic presser into the bowl with the other ingredients. Now I've got my coriander. Now I'm not usually a huge fan of coriander, but I do quite like it in this salad, so there we go. Then I've got pomegranate seeds. These weren't in the recipe, but I had these in an ottolenghi salad and I absolutely loved the idea, so I decided to put them in, and it adds a nice sort of sweet crunch to your salad. They're really tasty. Here are my lentils. As you can see, they got a bit mushy. Was not what we were going for, but it's okay. My carrots, chopping them up, then we're going to coarsely grate them into the salad bowl, and then as you can see, I had a lot of carrot with the coriander, and then I'm just gonna go back to my lentils, give them another stir, because I mean, I don't even know what to say about them, but they tasted really good. Yep, whoops, there we go. Bit of salt and pepper into the salad bowl, to just add a bit more flavour. And then I popped the lentils in, and then I just mixed them all up together. Took my sweet potato and cauliflower out of the oven, they're looking nice and brown, and then added them into the bowl. Then I mixed it all up, and that's my salad basically. I then waited for it to cool down. It's still a bit hot here. Popped it in a takeaway box to take to uni because I had to go in to film some stuff for one of my shows, and then popped it in the fridge. The rest of it went in that big tub for the rest of the week, and then I took some squares with me to uni as well, and my water bottle. To be honest, the salad really filled me up, but I'm greedy, so I had crisps as well, and they were tasty, and no regrets. And then after I got back from uni, I fancied a little snack, and my friend gave me these Livia's Millionaire Squares. It's basically like cocoa orange. I ate it in front of Desperate Housewives. You can see that's what it looks like. They were really yummy, and it's sort of like meant to be like a healthy version of a shortbread. Here's me eating it, having a great time. I was very happy with it. A nice little afternoon treat. Then I had a 7-Up whilst I was doing my work in the evening because it was really sunny and I just fancied a nice cold drink. Now moving on to dinner. So I'm making a pasta bake. So these are all my ingredients. Some penne, some chopped tomatoes, basil, salt, pepper, veggies. I just put peppers, onions, courgettes and tomatoes in, a bit of garlic as well. So those are my ingredients. And then some olive oil as well to start off with for my pan. So now I'm just getting some water to boil the pasta in. I'm just filling it up at the tap and then taking it over to the hob, and then putting the hob on to quite high heat actually because I wanted to get the water boiling pretty fast. Excuse the mess, my housemate had just cooked and not tidied up after herself. Student house vibes, we love it. And then I put some salt in the water. I put a bit of olive oil in a frying pan, ready for my onion to go in once I had chopped it. And then this is a clip of me chopping my onion up, getting rid of that, the outer layer, getting rid of the middle bit as well. I'm not sure actually if you can eat the middle bit of an onion, but I always just chop it out, so I don't really know. I mean, I'm not a connoisseur of cooking, so just putting the rest in the food waste and then chopping up my onion into quite small bits. I quite like to have it quite finely chopped. It's just my preference, but you go with whatever you want. Just chopping away. Then I popped that in the pan with the oil. The oil had got quite hot by this point, so the onion started to cook straight away, so I just turned the hob down a bit because I think it was on a bit too high. And then just gave them a bit of a stir because they were literally already cooking as soon as I put them in. Then I'm moving on to my red pepper, just chopping it up. I used a whole pepper for this because it was kind of going out of date anyway, so I thought I'll just use it all up. Just chopping out the middle bits, and then putting those bits in the food waste before beginning to chop up all my peppers. So off I go, turning down the hob a bit more, stirring a bit more because my onions were burning at this point. And then I'm just chopping it up again into quite small pieces just because it's easier to eat, chopping it all up, and then I'm just gonna pop it into the pan with the peppers. Oops, I missed one. And then just giving it a stir. As you can see, the pan's quite hot, and just stirring that around so the oil gets coated. And then my courgette, chopping this up into little, I don't know what shape is that, like a semicircle but cut in half. I don't know what you call that, but yeah. I absolutely love courgette. I literally put it in every meal I make, so I love it. And then just giving it a stir. The pasta's not the pasta, the water's boiling, so it's ready for the pasta to go in. I didn't measure it, I just sort of eyeballed the pasta using the bowl that I was going to use for the pasta bake. So I just put sort of a layer on the bottom. Then this is me chopping up my garlic. I'm just getting rid of the skin and then peeling it, ready to be put in the presser again. We didn't have a presser for a couple months and it was literally a nightmare, and I absolutely love garlic pressers so much. They're so quick and easy to use. So there's me just pressing the garlic into the veggies. Then I'm putting some cherry tomatoes in, some fresh cherry tomatoes, and then a bit of dry basil, and then I also put in some fresh basil afterwards, but my plant is kind of dying, so all the leaves are pretty small, so that's why I put in the dried basil along with it. Here's a nice close-up. And then I've got my cherry tomatoes in sauce. So this meal had a lot of cherry tomatoes in it. There it goes. And then I'm just going to mix that all together so it can start to sort of simmer away with the veg. And this helps to prevent anything burning to the pan as well, which we don't want, you know, it's not what we're going for. Yeah, I'm just giving it a nice stir, stir, stir. It's boiling away. And then that's me putting the oven on. I think I had actually already put it on and that was me fake pretending. This is my mozzarella. I just got it from Lidl, as with all my food. And then I cut the ball in half, and I'm going to use half of it in the pasta sauce, and then I'm going to save the other half for on top of the pasta bake. So I'm just ripping it apart. It's better to rip mozzarella than to chop it, I've been told, because if you chop it, the moisture doesn't get out, and then it gets quite wet, and like releases a lot of liquid when you then go to cook it. So I like to just rip it up with my hands, and then take that and add it in to my vegetable sauce mix, and then it's just gonna start to melt away with the sauce and get that nice kind of creamy vibe. Stirring the pasta occasionally to make sure it's not sticking to the pan, and then stirring my veggie mix. As you can see, the mozzarella start to melt and go all stringy, which I absolutely love. It tastes so yummy. I love mozzarella so much. And then I'm just squishing some of the tomatoes. Then I thought I'd add a bit of tomato puree just because it was looking a bit thin. So I just added like a big dollop of tomato puree and then mixed that in too. And I think that did help to thicken it up a bit. So now my pasta is ready. I'm just using a sieve to drain the water, and then I'm going to go ahead and add the pasta in with all my veggies and my sauce. And then I'm just going to stir, and then it's ready to be going into the bowl for the bake. So that's my bowl I was using. I made this for two, so I had this for my dinner the next night as well. And then I just popped the other half ball of mozzarella, and in it goes into the oven. Now it's finished. My friend was picking a jack potato. It looked so nice when it came out of the oven, and then I just put a bit of black pepper on top, served it up into my bowl, and then I'm taking it over to the dining table to eat with my Desperate Housewives again, and my bottle of water. I'm obsessed with my water bottle. It's always by my side, and this meal was literally so yummy. I was so happy with it. It was exactly, I'd just been craving it for ages. Then after my dinner I had some dark chocolate. This is just a simply dark chocolate bar from Lidl, so nothing special, and so it's really nice. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I eat in a day. I'm not the best chef. I mean, I like my food, but it's not Michelin star or anything. But I hope you found it interesting or soothing and relaxing. So yes, if you have any requests for videos, please do let me know in the comments. Or comment anything you like. I'll always reply to people's comments. So yeah, thank you so